How y'all doing? J-Rocc, Daddy, the Big Daddy of Destruction, whatever you want to call me right here in your face, coming at you live from the studios of the Sports Fix. And I just got finished wrapping up one of those wrestling podcasts and answered some questions. And this is kind of like the afterglow, the after festivity cigarette. I'm still kind of feeling the flow, and I had to crack this mic and keep it going because he asked me a couple of questions at the end that just fired me up and got my juices pumping, talking to me about some of the guys that I've trained and some of my favorite guys, and then asked me about matches that I'd like to see now in the future, etc. and so forth. I said, hell, you ain't got to go no further than Saturday, my man. You know what? I don't even need these anymore. Holla at your boy. I said Saturday, you ain't got to go no further because there's a match in Buda, Texas. I'm up in Erie, Pennsylvania, but if I wasn't there doing my thing for Pro Wrestling Rampage, I'd be in Buda, Texas for Branded Outlaw Wrestling, NWA-BOW, because my boy, my ace spoon coon daddy, the notorious Shane Taylor, finally ascends to his rightful throne atop this wrestling business. And the path of my guys running the show continues because Shane Taylor has got his first and the only one that he needs shot at the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, held by the one and only, that jacked up son of a gun. Whoo, shudder just to think of getting in the ring with a boy like Jax Dane. I've heard about Jax Dane for years. Let me tell you, ever since one of my best friends in the world, Ray Rowe, moved to Texas years ago, and I remember him telling me, it's funny, he's like the big brother of my big brother, and I remember him telling me this guy kind of took me under my wing, this big guy, and they had a little new tag team. I used to joke and call him Not J-Rocc, be like, hey, how'd your tag team match go with Not J-Rocc this weekend? But he would always tell me, did Ray, about this cat named Jax Dane, and he was down there, a big jacked up guy that really took Ray under his wing and really helped become, Ray said it in his documentary, the big brother that Ray never had. So I've had mad respect from the outside for Jax Dane, watching him, and he's had trials and tribulations and climbed and climbed and climbed, and just recently stepped, finally, after a serious injury, after all kinds of personal stuff, he stepped atop the throne himself and became the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Hell, I remember Tracy Smothers, my boy, would come up from Tennessee sometimes and would say, J-Rocc, hey, J-Rocc, daddy, hey, you ever heard of the Vanilla Godzilla, Big Jax Dane? Hey, hungry, big guy, man, good kid, he's hungry. He's going to be the NWA World Champion. And Tracy would tell me this, and I knew. I'd say, hey, I know about Jax Dane. Ray Rowe tells me about him all the time. What do you know about Shane Taylor? And, of course, Tracy knows about Shane Taylor. Ray Rowe and myself were very fortunate years ago. I've been fortunate all along my career to have great guys come to me for help. It wasn't just, J-Rocc, what do you do for this guy? And I did this and you owe me that. You've got to bring it to the table. And I've had great guys with great attitudes come to the table. Guys like John McChesney, guys like Mike Hutter, EC3, your TNA World Heavyweight Champion. And that's why I say, I know a thing or two about training world champions. I'm going to get into the match coming up this weekend. But the question that kind of got me fired up tonight, my man was like, talk about your students. And he brings up John McChesney and he brings up EC3. And I said, that gets me every time I do one of these interviews because y'all are always like John McChesney and EC3 and this guy and that guy. And that's great. John McChesney is a pretty boy, high flyer, big league. You get the great, he's gimmicks and personality and merchandising. He's the man. John McChesney, best unsigned talent in the world today. And of course, EC3, what else can you say about the world heavyweight champion? That's my student right there. And so when you got guys like that, sometimes cats get lost in the shuffle. And I say all the time, Shane Taylor is my most overlooked trainee. Shane Taylor, in the years since he came up to Ray Rowe and myself and said, please help me make my dreams a reality, he has not only done what we've asked him to do, done what we told him to do, but he's asked everybody and anybody and they mama under the sun what he should do, and he's done that times 10, times 20, times infinity. You tell him to go to the gym, he beats you there. You tell him to go to the gym, he leaves when you're done. You tell him to go to sleep, he's at the gym while you're sleeping. Shane Taylor, he left Cleveland, he left Pittsburgh, he left Erie. He left his comfort zone and moved his family down to Texas to sweat it out in the heat because Ray Rose said there's a better opportunity for you to come down here and become the man. And, you know, every time Ray comes up here to Cleveland, whether it's to wrestle for one of the local promotions, the AIW, whether he's up here for Ring of Honor, we always get together and we talk about Shane and how Shane's doing. And he's always like, we're like two proud parents. He's showing videos. Oh, look, watch Shane suplex a house. And look, he picked up the VFW and just suplexed it into the next yard. And it's amazing stuff. And we would talk sometimes about Jax, and he was teaming with Ray for a while and Shane, and they go to the gym and train together. They became, you know, a really close-knit unit. And I refer back to Ray's DVD again. You can just look on that and see the brothership that has kind of formed along with the competitiveness of those three guys there. But Ray and I would always be like, man, you know, you and Shane have wrestled and you and Jax have wrestled. What in the hell? Them people don't know what they're going to see if Jax and Shane ever get in the ring and hook it up. And here it comes, Buda, Texas. As I said, I wish I could be there because this Saturday, October 10th, it's going to be the immovable force and the irresistible object, to throw the cliche right out there. It is the vanilla Godzilla. It is the jacked to the gills, bad as hell, hungry, and not going to take no for an answer. World Heavyweight Champion of the National Wrestling Alliance, Jax Dane, my big brother's big brother. And he going to be taking on my little brother, my big brother's little brother. It's like 6 degrees of separation. I think there's like some weird deliverance thing going on here. Am I my brother's keeper? On October 10th, Shane Taylor's going to be his brother's keeper. And when he's finished, it's going to be a hell of a battle. And every person in existence that night is going to be grateful. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you'll remember. You don't remember every wrestling match you've seen. Y'all gonna remember Jax Dane versus Shane Taylor. Y'all gonna remember Dane versus Taylor. Y'all gonna remember the night you watched the notorious Shane Taylor arise to his place in the pecking order and stop being uncrowned and start being the king, because Shane Taylor's time has come. Jax Dane, I can't wait to meet you in person and tell you you had a hell of a title reign, and I cannot wait to give it up one time after this Saturday for the new NWA World Heavyweight Champion. If you don't know, your ass better ask somebody, because you're going to find out in a few short days. Give it up one time. I am. For the Battle of the Monsters, Godzilla meets Notorious, Shane Taylor, Jax Dane, Buda, Texas, for the NWA Gold. 20 pounds of it on the line. Jax Dane, you coming out weighing 20 pounds less than you walked in. And Shane Taylor, be the man I've always known you were going to be, baby. Be Shane Taylor. Y'all in for a treat. Enjoy this one. Holla at your boy. Hey, keep your eyes open. You never know when you might find me popping in down there from time to time as well. Hey, champs, I got a challenge for the winner. Look out for the Big Daddy of Destruction. Meanwhile, give it up one time. NWA Branded Outlaw Wrestling this Saturday. Shane Taylor, Jax Dane for all the marbles, baby. It gonna be badass.